So hello, welcome to the video and welcome to beautiful Phuket. A couple of wonderful days here, wonderful beach, wonderful sea, but it's time to move on. Flying today up to Bangkok, short flight on Thai Airlines, although it's on their subsidiary Thai Smile. Economy class, pretty low expectations for this flight, to be honest with you. As long as it gets me to Bangkok in one piece, that's all I really want. But if you'd like to see what the experience is like, stick around.
Hi, I'm Matt. I've lived in 5 countries on 4 continents. I've flown over 1.4 million miles. I've visited over 100 countries, every American state, but I'm nowhere near done. So subscribe to see where I go next and perhaps get some inspiration for your next trip. So into the small but very pleasant domestic terminal and off to the check-in desks. As usual, I was very early. Phuket's roads aren't brilliant. Traffic can be awful at peak times and can easily snarl up at any time of the day, so it's wise to leave plenty of time to get to the airport, particularly if it's raining. I'd been in Phuket for a few days without access to a printer, so I needed to check in old style on this occasion. No queues, probably as I was so early. And it was a quick and easy process. I've been through a few smaller airports lately, specifically Bonaire and Luxor, which are too small to have lounges. So I asked, "Do you have a lounge here?" I wasn't shocked to get this response, but my interpretation of her answer turned out to be wrong. I booked this flight through the Thai Airways website, and the booking came through as TG2204, operated by Thai Smile. I didn't think much of it, as my recent flight from London City to Dublin was BA4472, operated by City Flyer, and it looked and felt like a BA flight. Most short flights offered by US airlines are operated by oddly named subsidiaries. The first clue that Thai was going to be different was revealed by the departure boards, which didn't show a TG2204. My boarding pass revealed that I'd actually been booked onto flight number WE204. The Thai flight number was also on the boarding pass, but this was the first time I'd seen that flight number anywhere in the booking journey. It was the first time I'd realised that Thai Smile operated under its own IATA designator of WE. And I'm pretty sure it was the first time in my 830 flight career that I'd not flown under the flight number I'd actually booked. I was a little disconcerted to not be able to see my flight number on the departure boards, and I'm dwelling on this a little as it could well be very confusing for anyone who doesn't travel for a living like I do. Off to the security point, and I was quickly through some of the friendliest and most courteous security staff I've encountered. The departure lounge was a lot larger than I'd expected, light and airy with plenty of seating, decent views and lots of food options. And despite the check-in agent's gesture, there was a lounge with Star Alliance signage. They also seemed to accept Priority Pass and a host of credit cards. I'm gold through Aegean, so even though I'd pretty much worked out what was going on, I thought I'd give it a go. It's never pleasant to be denied entry. Had I been connecting to another Thai or Star Alliance flight, they'd have let me in, but as this was being operated as a standalone Thai Smile flight, Star Alliance status didn't count, even though I'd bought a Thai flight with a Thai flight number through Thai's website. The agent gave the very strong impression that this wasn't the first time she'd had this conversation, and very professionally said that the Thai website does explain this somewhere in the small print, but nothing along the booking journey or in the confirmation email mentioned this, which it easily could have and really should have. It really wasn't a big deal, but it did feel somewhat like a bait and switch exercise from Thai Airlines, not worth complaining about, as I'm sure there was adequate explanation of this buried deep in a section of the website that no one ever reads. It was very easy to find a seat elsewhere in the terminal, although not this one. My hairstyle probably qualified me to sit down, but I was not wearing my orange robes that day. Boarding time duly came around, and I was tempted to try one more time to use my status for priority boarding, but I was overcome by the British need to avoid confrontation at all costs, so I stuck with the regular line. And eventually I made it onto the plane, an 8-year-old Airbus A320 that's been with Thai Smile since delivery. Through the 3-row Smile Plus cabin, which offered a Euro business style layout with the middle seat blocked. And like Egypt Air, Thai Smile's row numbering is quirky in that the first row was row 31, which meant it was not that far back to my seat in row 39. Very good legroom. I believe the pitch gets skinnier as you go further back in the plane, but this far forward I reckon I had 33 inches, which was excellent for an economy seat. A table, no shocks there, a safety card, and not a lot else. No in-seat power or Wi-Fi, but Thai Smile is in many ways a low-cost carrier, so I hadn't expected to find either facility aboard. There were personal air vents, which is probably close to essential for an airframe operating in tropical climates. We pushed back pretty much bang on time, and after a short taxi, we were off. The weather was magnificent for the whole flight, and that part of the world is truly spectacular, so the only place to be was in a window seat. And the port side was the side to have picked too. I said Thai Smile was in many ways a low-cost carrier, but one way they weren't was that there was an in-flight service, a pie and a bottle of water. It turned out to be a sweet mango pie, and it was fantastic, followed by a round of teas or coffees. Very good. The crew were great too. We weren't required to wear masks, although all of the crew still did. We were in the air for 1 hour and 16 minutes, and it flew past, boom boom, and down into Bangkok with some spectacular views of Suvarnabhumi Airport. All was well, until it wasn't. This was perhaps the 70th flight I've filmed since I started the channel, but this was the first time I was ordered to turn off my camera. It was suction cupped onto the window, as it always is, but it had been deemed to be electronic equipment, so must be turned off for landing. The camera doesn't have Wi-Fi, and phones are electronic equipment that are allowed to stay on, provided they're not broadcasting, but nope, my camera needed to be off. I politely and respectfully inquired whether I should also turn off my hearing aids, which are also electronic equipment, although they do actually broadcast a signal between them. But no, it was okay to leave them on. The poor attendant tasked with conveying this order was just as uncomfortable with the situation as I was, and there was no point arguing with bureaucracy, so I complied. Mostly. There's a saying that covers this sort of bizarre and confusing situation. This is Thailand, and it applied perfectly here. It has an unfortunate abbreviation, but it's an entirely appropriate saying. We taxied to a remote stand past a large number of Thai planes that were still mothballed, including a number of 747s. If Thai returned a few to service before scrapping them, they'd make a fortune from avgeeks like me who'd not been able to celebrate the retirement of almost all of the Queens of the Sky when it happened so abruptly during the you-know-what. Most airlines are back to a full fleet. Indeed, Qatar is desperate for new planes, so it is perhaps telling that Thai seems to be so far behind the return to service curve. Down the stairs and onto a ubiquitous Cobus 3000 for a marathon drive around the massive airport to the domestic arrivals area. It really was a lovely day. And as a domestic arrival, there were no formalities, and I was quickly through to get a taxi into town. I paid 2,150 baht for this flight, which is about 50 quid or $65. And the experience was great, and I thought it was great value for money. Would I fly Thai Smile again? Probably not. I picked this flight as I wanted to get full value out of my Star Alliance status, and I feel that Thai was disingenuous, perhaps even dishonest, in how they sold me the ticket. Thai Smile was perfectly good, but my impression of them, and indeed of Thai Airways itself, was soured somewhat by this experience. Not so much by the camera thing, which could happen on any airline, but by the extremely sneaky way Thai Airways gets out of honouring their commitments as a Star Alliance member. Next time, I'll fly Bangkok Airways, who I've flown on 7 occasions previously, who've never been anything less than exceptional, even if they're not in a major alliance. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Please give this video a like, leave me a comment, would you consider Thai Smile, or are you a Bangkok Airways fan like me? Please consider subscribing if you're new, and if you'd like to support what I'm doing more directly, there is a Patreon account, the link to which is in the description below. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.